Kind of looking back, I know you were asking, like one of the topics of discussion was like, how did you get into Ortho-K? And it really took me back in terms of like figuring like, oh, what did I do when I was
Hmm.
first getting started? And I see a lot of younger ODs getting into myopia management and succeeding and doing so well. And I kind of think of my story more like that classic tortoise and the hare story.
Okay.
It's like, okay, I'm the tortoise. I'm like, I kind of did things super slow, but I kept with it, like I persevered. And the tortoise eventually she made it to the finish line. And that's kind of how I feel. I was looking back at my story. It's like, okay, yeah, I kind of just did things slowly, kind of just trekked along. Yeah, and things kind of started getting a little bit easier as time went on, but kind of just trek along.
Yeah. I mean, the the concept of persistence, I think, is very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Pushing through. And I think a lot of people, invest so much and then or they're not ready to make these necessary changes, and then they spin out of it pretty quickly when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
myopia management. When you think about it, like Ortho-K specifically, like it works. Its success rate is really good just in general,
Mm-hmm.
and the number of patients it could potentially apply to is significant. And then with the number of kids that need the treatment, and then when you look at like, labs have consultants and resources, like this should be a slam dunk, but it's not. Carrie, my dad says, 80% of the cases are going to just be done by 20% of the fitters
Right.
in the future. And, that makes a lot of sense to me, but I'm always wondering, like, what is it going to take to make Ortho-K more accessible? Like, is the problem that there's a learning curve to Ortho-K, or is the problem kind of with optometry in general? If more optometrists were, like the tortoise, like you mentioned, and being persistent, and would that pay off more instead of like what I've seen in actual practical application is like, I ran into a problem. I don't feel good about this. I don't want to do this anymore. And then they're
Mm-hmm.
just done with it and they've created a bunch of excuses to find their way out of it. Like, do we see a future where, Ortho-K can go beyond that 80/20 paradigm?
I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know. I mean, we all have our preference. Like even when I graduated, I remember there's like different rotations we go there through. It's like peds, contact lens, low vision, disease, and now dry eye, and there's a VT, things like that, right? And we all probably have a preference for one, right? And I remember like we learned about RGP fits in school. We learned more about RGP than Ortho-K, to be honest. And I remember graduating and said, I don't want to fit an RGP lens after I graduate. It's like I didn't want to do that. It was complicated. And fitting soft lenses is so much easier, right? At that point. So and here I am fitting Ortho-K lenses. But I think it's just one, its interest is right. And then
Hmm.
um, there's a lot actually, like in terms of optometry, where you could kind of branch into, and a lot of people just enjoy primary care, but um, I don't know, like if what I guess if you have the will, there's a way, right? If that's is that the
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah.
Like if you want to do it, you'll do it. And you'll go into like if that's your passion, that's your interest, you'll go through the hurdles, you'll persist with it, and you'll continue on with it. But if the interest isn't there, and and everyone has their interest, like it might be VT, low vision, dry eye, whatever it is, and that's kind of the direction they'll go to. So I don't know. Like I don't think it's for everyone.
Right.
Um, but hopefully we'll have more doctors fitting Ortho-K for sure, hopefully.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't think it's for everyone. Everyone has their preference and what they enjoy in clinical practice, right?
If you're interested in getting the rest of the episode, consider becoming a paid supporter of the Myopia Mindset. In addition to an extended version of this episode and every other episode that we do, you'll also get access to exclusive monthly bonus episodes of the Myopia Mindset. And I know you're interested. You've made it this far. You can do so on our Substack, myopiamindset.substack.com. I'll see you at the next one.